Hi, welcome to McBoss Capital channel. Today we are going to talk about why is the stock market bullish. And you can contact me. My name is Michael Chu at support@mcbosscapital.com. As usual, our materials are shown for information purpose only. They're not investment recommendations, and I'm not a registered investment professional. We want to focus on shopping our skills every week. This include we have to learn when to buy, what to buy, when to hold and sell. We generally look at the general market direction, drilling down to the sectors and industries, and then finally to the leading stocks. The agenda today is in the last week, the market has huge anticipation of earnings, um, and also what the Federal Reserve will do and what the GDP report looks like. The market indices did power higher, but it is now near possibly strong resistance level. Um, there's still lots of bears out there, and some analysts want to see capitulation in the wicks, which hasn't happened yet. Um, and then finally, we'll look at leading stocks in industry groups and sectors. Here's our weekly market newsletter, and it is free, so you can go to www.mcbosscapital.com and you can find this article here. And again, we are talking about why the stock market is bullish today, or will it turn bearish soon? So it's important to know the market direction. So we just want to mention here that the bottom right now is currently on June 16th, and it is currently near the new high on June 2nd. We'll look at the chart in a bit. It is going to be healthy for the market to see some sideways action in this coming week or so, as the market should digest recent gains because it has come up a lot very fast. I believe July Nasdaq actually had one of the strongest run, 12%, up 12%. So it'll be good for the market to consolidate a little bit in the next little bit. Otherwise, it might run out of steam, and if it goes up too fast and just crash back down. So that's that could be the bearish action. If it continues this route. So it has risen. The market has risen 3 out of the last 4 weeks, and the 3 weeks that are up are up significantly, and even this last week you can see they were mostly above 4% on Nasdaq, S&P, and also Russell. What happened the last week was quite was a lot of anticipation by the market, and so it has a really good week, and partly because Federal Reserve stay put with their 0.75 interest rate hike, which is widely expected by the street. GDP did come in lower, negative, and also I believe most analysts did see this already, and the market might have priced in a mild recession at this point. So technical recession is the definition right now because first and second quarter is negative growth. Um, but probably the biggest thing that happened this week was market was really anticipating what would happen with the big four big cap tech stocks here, and we'll look at the charts in a second. Although I believe Microsoft and Google might have guided down in the future, they still and also miss on some either top or bottom line. They actually went up, so the market is quite bullish in that sense, from the sentiment and also behavior perspective. Um, this is the first big week of earnings report, and there are going to be many more earnings report this coming week and also the week after. So we still, I guess 1/3 of the way. If you count this 3 weeks, in general, it'll be about 1/3 of the whole market in general that has reported. So, or at least the most important stocks. So it's still early to say whether the market has cleared the sky. But I do like to see some sign of consolidation at this level right now. And we'll talk more when we look at the chart And right now, here we're just saying, it is powering higher above its 50-day moving averages. It is now 9 sessions above the moving average. In March, it did go above the moving average as well. But what happened was it topped out after 9 sessions. And the funny thing is, right now we are exactly 9 sessions above this moving average and hitting new highs. So, um, so is it possible that this will happen again, that it will top out? Only time will tell, and so we'll have to pay attention to that. We did go through some of the psychological levels like 12,000. This is S&P is now above 4,000. Dow Jones above 32,000. So only Nasdaq has taken the previous high in June. So but the other three indexes hasn't. So that's something to, again, look at the chart in the second here, and we can see that clearly. The next thing we want to look at is, are there lots of accumulation? And there is. We saw 87 industry groups with accumulation and 19 groups with distribution. And out of those, there's 417 stocks that are under accumulation and 88 under distribution. So this is quite significant difference. So again, it shows how bullish the market is. And most of the stocks right now are bouncing from their bottoms, and a lot of them, kind of move move higher because of earnings results, from their peers or from itself. So here are a list of stocks from technology groups that are getting accumulated, retail. So you can see it's quite wide in terms of how many stocks and how many industry groups. Industrial or slash commercial, health related groups. We have commodities, energy, oil and gas, solar. We'll talk more about that in a second, and financials as well. So very healthy market right now, lots of accumulation. So we are very excited for this market to turn bullish. So we'll dive into the charts right now. Here's the Nasdaq chart, and we see this top since November, and we can see this leg down, pretty big leg till March, and we have this. This is the where it came back up above the red line, which is the 50 days moving average. And so again, as I mentioned earlier, there's 9 sessions before it top out right here. So again, then once it top out, it form another leg down, and it's quite, there's this leg here, but if it actually didn't go very far here on this bounce, so we can extend that leg to down here. So now we're seeing this uptrend from this June 16 bottom, and it has kind of formed higher lows and higher highs, which is a bullish pattern, right? So that's really the definition of an uptrend. Now there is a lot of people who argue that maybe the bear is not over and that it could form a third leg down. It could happen, so that's why some people are still bearish. Or some people say, hey, this June 16 is the bottom. Only time will tell, and no one really knows. But right now, we are 9 sessions above this, this red line here. And another good thing is this red line has actually started to curve upward right here. It's hard to see. And so right now it's 9 sessions, and typically, some people call a power trend is when it is above the 50 days moving average over 10 sessions, in terms of uptrend. Right now we're at 9 sessions, so will it continue higher past 10 sessions? That'll be a good sign, or will it start to fall back down? And so, um, no one knows, or will go sideways, like kind of slightly sideways as the 50-day come back up, right? So that's the better sign. If it can go sideways and just drop a little bit to test the market, whether there's lots of sellers and bears trying to sell their stocks. So that's what we kind of want to see in the next week or so, to see what's going to happen here. So that's why it is very important to pay attention now. If you did miss this tradable rally, um, So let's quickly touch on the resistance level. You can see the previous June high was a strong resistance here. There were many sessions where it just couldn't keep going higher. And right now on Nasdaq, we just passed this level, right? Without any, even on Friday intraday, it actually, slide back down when it hit this level, and then it was able to power through by the end of day, and you can see it go significantly, somewhat higher. Monday and Tuesday coming up will be big tests, whether it, like I said, will go back down or not. But if we look at other indices, it will give more sense of where we're at. So here, S&P is still hasn't broken that level yet. So, my suspect is that even though Nasdaq broke it, we might see, this resistance coming up. And same thing with Dow Jones here. Right? So it's just a little bit further away. So that will be some resistance level, I think, around this area. Although but really they're still far above the 200-day. Like right here, um, uh, in March you can see it found quite a lot of resistance on the 200-day. And we go back to S&P for a second. Again, the 200-day here is much higher. Um, and we'll go back to Nasdaq. You can see the 200-day here, right? So I mean, there's a possibility that it just slides sideways a little bit and then continue to bounce to this level. So that's other, if the market remains bullish after some sideways consolidation here, that's what we like to see. That will be the next huge resistance. And finally, we'll just look at IWM. Again, similar action here, just slightly below it, right here. Here's a screen that of July 22nd. That was the more recently, like about a week ago. That was when Nasdaq started to slide down. I usually like to see which stocks or industry groups have strength as the market comes down, and it came down 22nd, 20, and then the Monday and Tuesday following on Nasdaq, and then it rebound, right? Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So I like to see which stocks are performing recently really well. And here are the stocks here. So after 6 sessions, we can see IEA from energy, commodities. We have Credo Internet Network Solutions for technology. We have two solar here, Solar Run and Enphase. We have oil and gas machinery equipment group, Weatherford, refining marketing, PBF, oil and gas drilling, P10, telecom fiber optics, Clearfield, oil and gas refining marketing, Gel, uh, and energy alternative others, CG. So you can see, surprisingly, commodities are dominating the performance, right? Because here's how it's sorted. It's sorted by price gain in this last 6 sessions, and you can see these are up 20 to 30% in the top 10. And as we go down to the lower the next 10, we continue to see some more commodities here, oil and gas, U.S. exploration, SBOL, Meritor, Denbury, CRK. Uh, and then we have also energy solar here, CSIQ, oil and gas, WHD. And then we have one industrial building construction. We have here we have building wood products. You have PI, HRI, commercial service leasing. So industrial also doing not bad. Commodities are definitely the strongest. We see one health stock here, AMLX, and we have a retail on education space from this EDU. So overall, the surprising thing is commodities are dominating in terms of performance in the last 6 sessions. So something to to just kind of look at, um, and I'm just gonna show you the chart here. Let me turn off all the signals here for a second. So IEA here we have, I believe this has a cash offer. That's why it jumps a lot. Let's look at the next one. Credo. Um, you can see it run up pretty high. It's a thinner stock. Uh, the energy solar is definitely one of the strongest group. You can see bounce up right here. We have Enphase, who had a strong report earnings, and you can see the jump here 3 days now, all positive. Um, Weatherford, see, it's building up the right side. So most of these stocks are, most of the stocks in the market are looking like this, right? Where it has kind of went down significantly and now it's coming back on the right side. And you can see they're still under the red line, which is the 50 days moving average. So some of them, like this one, PPF, is starting to come up above the 50-day moving average, the red line here. So that's a good sign because it's kind of, forming the right side of the base, and this one is actually not that far from the high, right? So there's lots of good signs. That's why the oil and gas stocks and commodity stocks are doing generally the best because they have the strongest technical action. Because if you remember, from January to June, it actually was one of the strongest group overall in the market, and now it has corrected since June, and now we are coming back up. So most of these technical patterns is that they have a strong run this year, and then they have the recent correction, and now they're coming back to the previous high. So they have less resistance in terms of supply and demand on the stock. So that's why they're easier to go up. This one, Clearfield, always has it was running up, and then it has a strong earnings report, and it just powered through. Gel, this one is oil and gas refining. So you can see on the right side, this one's energy bounce on the last. So there's lots of bounce in the last few sessions in the last week. So I don't usually buy extended stocks, but it's good to keep this in your pocket because they may form some sort of consolidation here or pull back to the 10-day. That gives you a potential opportunity to buy them. So this one is UFPI in the building wood products. So that's just some quick look into the top performing sector groups and stocks right now. So as I'm closing off this video, I just want to remind everyone that that the next 2 weeks will be important, and we like to see some consolidation. You can look at our free service, free newsletter on macbosscapital.com, youtube.com, which you are watching right now. It's also free. Our website for looking at the screen that earlier, you can check out this website, growthstock@websites.net. You can sign for a free trial at Gmail with a Gmail account. And you can look at our other services here from Teachable as well. And you can always contact me at support@macbosscapital.com for any questions you have. Thank you.